Hi, welcome to episode 105. Why do I do that every time? Hi, welcome to episode 105 of the Cat Lady podcast. My name is Andrea, also known as the Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, CATT, craft all the things. It is January 22nd, 2020. Welcome. My name is Andrea, and you can find me on social media as the Cat Lady everywhere. That's 2 T's. Instagram, Facebook group, Ravelry group. Just search for the Cat Lady. And welcome if you're new. Thank you for tuning in. This is a primarily fiber-related podcast, but I do get crafty with all the things. So sometimes I will pull in some random different crafts, such as I have a Cricut maker, so I'll do some Cricut projects. Sewing, but primarily knitting, crochet, spinning, and fiber-related stuff. So, with that, if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for always coming back and sticking with me. I know I can get crazy sometimes, I can fall off the face of the planet a lot, so I always appreciate those who come back and those who pop in and check on me through social media, so I appreciate it. So, today we will jump right into podcast news. And we have a make-along going on today, or now, whenever. I don't know what's going on today. Anyways, we have a make-along. So, it is a whip-along, so your works in progress, any works in progress that you've had sitting on your needles or machines or whatever since before January 1st, 2020, are eligible. So, that includes anything that you make. So, knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving, sewing, Cricut, crafts, so any sort of craft. So that's what I'm calling it a make-along. And a whip-along, work in progress. So anything that you've had in progress that you finish, you can post on Ravelry in the Finish Objects group. I know, obviously, so people who do like Cricuts and whatever aren't on Ravelry, but you're probably not watching my podcast either if you don't do any sort of fiber arts. So hopefully everyone can participate on Ravelry. If there is if you have concerns and say, I want to participate, but I am not on Ravelry, please message me. We can figure out something via Instagram or YouTube or whatever. So, all are welcome. So the rules are all posted on Ravelry. I do need to figure out how to become more inclusive in my show notes to those who aren't on Ravelry. So again, if you have concerns, if you want to see show notes in the down box on YouTube, I can arrange that. So I'm sure I can copy and paste pretty between things. I don't know. It's time consuming to post the show notes just because I'm hyperlinking everything. And on Ravelry, you literally have to like insert a link, copy paste. So if I have to do that twice, like on YouTube and Ravelry, that would get a little time consuming. So do I just do it on YouTube since everybody's obviously watching it on YouTube? And then just link my video in Ravelry? Do I set up my... I'm attempting to restart my website. However, I got as far as updating the knitting gallery and I haven't touched it since. So now it's been like a week and I haven't touched my website. But if I do show notes on a website, is that going to be more handy? So again, one place for everyone to go. So chime in, let me know. But all the rules are posted somewhere. But I'll go through them real quick. Anything cast on before January 1st, a pair or something that's frogged counts. So if you frogged something, so if you had a half-done shawl and you ripped it out, post your pile of yarn spaghetti and that can count as an entry. So I did that as well. I frogged my boot cuffs that I had started on a loom because I don't think the loom knitting's for me. No chatter in the group, just message me if you have any questions. Must be a member of Ravelry group, just find the Cat Lady Podcast group and click join group. It'll run from now until the end of March. And I have prizes. So the prize pack is, and again, if there's a way more entries, then I would consider upping the amount of prizes, but typically my participation is pretty average for one prize. So last time I did have 2 prizes just because I had some extra things donated. So, but I think one major prize, because usually I get 30 to 50 entries, so that's fair enough for one prize. Anyways, So this is the yarn. It is a 12 pack of minis from Happy Little Yarn. She is closing shop, unfortunately, so she had these left over from last Christmas and she's getting rid of all her stock of undyed yarn and everything, so she offered to send this along to me. And I think this was, yeah, I think this was like a 12 days of Christmas, but very pretty minis. 80% merino, 20% nylon, 40 yards, 10 grams, 3-ply fingering. 8 minis, and they're very squishy. And then if you followed me for a while, you'll know that I got, is this the one I wanted to, oh, yeah, yes. A fellow or a podcast listener, watcher sent these to me to use for a giveaway. She sent me a bunch of them, but I picked the one I wanted that I thought would go with this prize pack. So hold on one second, because I'm losing a couple. But these are stitch markers from Neatsy's Porch. Here, let me show her little tag on Etsy. And I'm losing a couple here. So this is a set of stitch markers. Very pretty purple pink beads. Thought that looked nice with the colorful yarn, colorful beads. So a set of stitch markers. And did they fall off again? I did have another one. Okay, anyways. I'll fix those up pretty later. And your choice of either the pink and peach kitties or the pink and green kitties. So these are 2 bags that I've made for myself, or just made for my stash. So yeah, I'll let the winner choose which bag they like, the teal or the peach. And these all come from a pet-friendly home, so I'm just noticing a few little stray hairs for some reason on these, on the one, on the cat back. But I will clean those up a little bit, but not bad, just a few little kitty hairs. So that is the prize for the make-along. To knitting and crochet. So I'm hosting this make-along that is supposed to be finishing your whips, so I thought, you know, that's going to encourage me to finish my whips, right? Wrong. Apparently I can't stop casting on all the things. So, last we talked, I think I had this cowl cast on. I'm pretty sure I did. This is the Cooler Side of Warm cowl by Espace Tricot, made out of Knit Picks Brava worsted weight. And this is leftover yarn from my Langlade sweater. So it looks very strange when it's not on. So this weird tube. It's got this side split. So let's see if I will take off the hat for a minute. It's my hair is so staticky. It is so dry in here and it is so just disgusting. This weather is just disgusting. So let's do this. So it is a cowl. If you follow me on Instagram, I did post a finished object. It obviously does not look well with the shirt. But I posted this finished objects set last week. I'm trying to be more engaging in social media, Instagram, and I've been, you know, hoarding my finished objects to show on the podcast, but some people don't watch the podcast, some people don't follow me on Ravelry. And so the only way they will see things is Instagram. And I don't know, people chimed in and you guys agreed that it's okay if I share stuff first and then share it later and talk about it more on the podcast. So this is amazing. I love this cowl. I love everything about it. It fits nice, you know, under the coat. So it's high up on the neck. I like it. Kind of looks like a turtleneck. I just love it. I love it. It's cozy. This yarn was nice. It's Knit Picks Brava worsted. It's an acrylic yarn, but it's super soft and easy to care for. I threw this in the wash already. Did I throw it in the dryer? I think I even threw it in the dryer. Typically I don't throw my stuff in the dryer, so like my sweaters and stuff that are acrylic, I throw them through the wash and then hang them to dry. So I think that will be the same for this. And to go with it, so this one I had cast it on. Yeah, I was like halfway up the tube. So I finished that, and then this one I cast on right after. I mentioned that this was on the horizon, but this is the Pull the Wool Over, also by Espace Tricot. I was hoping I'd have enough leftover Brava, which I did. So, and I made an 7-inch faux fur pom-pom. Usually the 6 inches are usually the big ones, but I made a slightly bigger one. And I don't know if I want to. I like the white, but all my hats have white pom-poms because I have all this white with silver faux fur. I have a ton of it, so that's what I just keep going to. But I will show you in stash. I have some new colors I could attempt, but I love this combination together. I love everything about it. Everything about it is great. These were free patterns, which is, again, baffles me that sometimes some of the best patterns are free. And then you pay for some patterns and they're like, what's going on here? So these are great patterns, free patterns. Didn't use a ton of yarn. Very cozy and warm. And I am coming to you from very cold Michigan, so these are necessary. And the last, oh yeah, I didn't update. So I finished something yesterday as well that I also cast on yesterday. So I'm going to take this off because I'm not super, I'm cold but not super old. So I'll leave my hat on because my hair is a mess and the hat just keeps it from being staticky. So anyways, if you see behind me, I have my little mini kitty poof. This is a Knit Picks pattern. And I forgot to put it on my finished objects because when I wrote my notes it was not finished. But as of yesterday evening it was finished. So this is made out of Lion Brand Hometown USA, which is a super bulky. It is a very easy pattern, not free, but yeah, and this is one of those patterns that it's not free yet. It's very vague in places and the directions could be better. So anyways, I did little French knots for the eyes, a little pink nose, which is supposed to represent Sadie, and after I made the pink nose, I'm like, she has a black nose. Maybe I should have made it black, but that's okay, because it's cute with the little pink nose. So this is Mini Kitty Poof. So that is my Sadie Poof. So you can guess what's probably going on in my whips. But we have one more sort of kind of finished object. So, of course, if you've been following me on Instagram, you've been following my blanket square saga. So I've been trying to do a square a day. So today is the 22nd, we said. I have 24 squares done, so I'm still 2 up. And, you know, I didn't do one yesterday because, you know, sometimes you just need a break. So, but I've been trying to do at least 2 on some days just to kind of catch up. So I have another whole row, and I don't like casting on a new row, so, you know. So I have another whole row done. So yeah, so this was the row I've done. So this thing is looking great. It's long enough actually to like lay on the back of my couch. If I can lay it out as like a decorative couch blanket, but yeah, super excited. Super cozy. So I'm very excited to be making progress on that. So I have some minis here, and then I have these were also from Happy Little Yarn, which these work out so well. To be honest, I should save these little little cross stitch thing floss holders and wind some more minis and kind of make another chunk like this. Or I can just buy some of these, I'm sure. But Lynn from the Wayward Skein also does that, and she actually, her fiance Rob has a laser cutter or some sort of cutting machine that cuts them out of cardboard. And she made some nice thick cardboard to wind her minis on, so that was nice. I mean, I love the way these look. I mean, how pretty are they when they're wrapped up, but in order for me to use it in my blanket, I have to unwrap the whole thing and rewind it into a ball. But, so, prettier, but more convenient. And I am guilty of sending my minis like this too, because I think they're so pretty. So that is my blanket progress. So I do need to work on one today, so I want to stay ahead of the game. So 24 squares out of 432 to go. I should probably readjust my numbers so that it shows how many I have left. That would seem to make more sense. Oh, okay, so another... Okay, those were finished objects. So now we're on to works in progress. So that's a work in progress too, of course, but... So works in progress. So I decided, I went to the library and I got some, I went to get this book from the library, Custom Socks, Knit to Fit Your Feet. This was recommended by a friend of mine because I would like to try to do a heel flap and gusset on my socks. I always do a short row heel, fish lips kiss heel. Those have always been my heel for my socks, which is fine, but I really want to venture out and try something different. This is obviously the traditional heel. I should do it at least once and see how I like it on my socks. So I started with that, and then I stumbled across The Beginner's Guide to Writing Knitting Patterns. And both of these books are by Kate Atherley. And this was a really good read. I pretty much read it cover to cover, skipped a few parts, but I really want to get back into designing, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's fun and it's cool. So I have my shawl pattern, so I'm trying to branch out. So I decided I'm trying to make a fingerless mitt pattern. So I will show off what I have so far. So, but the math involved in all this stuff is really annoying. I'm not a big fan of math. Oh, and this is also leftover knit picks. I am using this yarn, like, who knows if to be honest, I don't know if I'll have enough to make 2 gloves. I think I will. I think I will. 2 little mitts. So I still have a good chunk left here, but I may not have enough to make both, but we'll see. But I figured, you know, I have my hat, I have the cowl, I'd like some little mitts. However, these are not going to be like keep your hands warm functional mitts. I decided to go with a more fashion over function kind of, because it's got this little mesh in it, so obviously that's not really. But I don't know, now that I'm thinking out loud, it could be cute to wear these over top like those just regular knit cheap dollar store gloves. You put a pair of those on, then you put this on top for cuteness. I don't know. So, but I'm getting to the point where it's like, this is my third cast on, or the second or third. I think it might be the second cast on. It could possibly be the third. But just trying to figure out the maths of the gussets and where to start and where to stop and where to whatevers. And then you gotta take into account that this needs to kind of stretch a little because it's lace. It's like lace mesh. So I took a break. It's at a spot where it should be simple enough to pick up and keep going again. But then I gotta write everything down. I have like a million pages of notes. Like that, these aren't even accurate anymore because I wrote it and then wrote it again, and I got extra things with formulas on here, and I got a picture of a hand. So yeah, I want it to be done right, and then I got to decide, do I make it so it can fit a larger hand? It's a mitt, so mitts are usually forgiving, but my hand is very narrow. Obviously I glanced at other patterns to just kind of get a feel of like the amount of stitches casted on, like what I made for my Clara Parks Maine morning mitts versus like a pair of Tin Can Knits mitts. And I'm in the same range of like a small medium, or a medium. I think it's like a medium. Well, the Clara Parks, it's one size. Tin Can Knits makes lots of sizes, of course. I don't know, I haven't really investigated what they do sizing for their mitts. You know, I'm not trying to steal other people's ideas, I'm just trying to do the right thing and get the right size and configuration. So I don't think maybe I just need to make sure it's stepped so you can step it up one more size. So I'm a small, medium, and a large, or a small and a large. I don't know. So, and again, my hand's really long, so I don't want to design it too long. So I need to make sure there is ability to customize a little bit. So those are the thought processes going through my head. So that's that. And then I've not touched my hat. Oh, we'll go back to that in a minute. So speaking of math, so I bought I borrowed the sock book. Oh my gosh, the math in that is like mind-numbing. And so here I am. I've kind of calculated out what I think I need to do for my next sock. However, it's not going to work on this sock unless I rip this sock out and start over. Because I already cast on too many stitches compared to that toe. I'm doing a different toe because my toes are monstrously long. I have long toes. Like it has you take a measurement of your toe, and it's like, oh, the average toe is like an inch and a half. My toe's like 2 or 3 inches long. Like ridiculous. My toe is huge. I have a monster toe. My feet are just absurd. Okay, but she has a modification for that, so I'm gonna try that. So I'm gonna lengthen the toe increase. And then the charts kind of lean towards a 64 count sock, but I've always done 60. And maybe I think I just like a lot more negative ease. Okay, so they factor in 10% negative ease. Maybe I need 15% negative ease. So I'm going to stick with my 60 count. The heel, see, and then I had to figure out where to start the heel. It tells me to start at 4 inches away from the total length of sock. That seems really far, but because usually I do 2 inches for the short row heel. But then, again, Googling gussets and heel flaps and whatever, I think that's about right. So, and then I'm going to make a slightly longer gusset because I have a slightly higher arch. Now, again, these numbers are not off by a bunch for the standard, but it's a little higher, and I feel like, yeah, I feel like when I look at where my socks kind of stretch the most, it's right there at that diagonal heel circumference. So, I figured out all that. I figured out how I want to knit a sock. But, do I rip this one out, since it's not very far along, honestly, and start again? Or do I just do this like I've done my normal socks, do my regular pattern, fish lips kiss heel, and call it a day? And then just get a different yarn. I mean, because this is kind of stripey and fun. I don't know if this would look good with the with the gusset and heel flap, or if it's going to look better with the short row heel. I don't know. So I haven't touched it. This is why I've been casting on all the things, because I'm afraid of touching all my other projects. That is my lava lamp socks with a Gale's Art sock link, knit on size 0s. So then there is my hat from Brandy Miller Designs that I love and is going to be great. But it's a lot of thinking. I have to like follow the pattern. I can't lose track. It's not mindless whatsoever. So I haven't touched it since I last showed it. And I need to, because I really like it. It's really pretty, and it's not difficult. It's just, I need to keep track of where I am. And I have a stitch marker, so I'm on row 1. It's a 12 row repeat. So I mean, I think it's 12. Yeah. It's a 12 row repeat, so it's not simple. It's not like a 2 row repeat, something like that, you know? So I need to like pay attention. So I haven't gotten anywhere on that. So instead, I keep just casting on all the things instead of working on the things I should be working on. And I still have my sweater, and I still have my bow tie scarf. And I did frog my boot cuffs, so those are no longer. I don't know if I've updated Ravelry to reflect that or not. And then, of course, I still want to knit the Sparkling Cider Hat by Wool & Vine Designs. Kristen, can't remember her last name. But I got that yarn, so, okay, so this is sort of needle adjacent, which I've talked about before, but I'm going to jump into stash since I did not show this because I didn't get it yet, but I told you it was coming. This is the Knit Picks Capretta. It's a little darker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit lighter, but it's fine. And this is an MCN, so merino, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. Fingering weight, probably only need 50 grams, but I got 2, so make something out, make some mitts. But this is to go with this mohair. So I do need to knit a swatch. I am curious, and this isn't mohair, it's alpaca silk. But anyways, so this will be the Sparkling Cider Hat. The bead. Oh, I don't know what to do with my beads. I think that might be in my basket. So I think I held up the beads, and I like the beads too. So that's that. So I got 2 of these. And I got plenty of the mohair, so I might have to make a matching mohair. Maybe just like a little cowl or something with the alpaca silk. Keep calling it mohair. So that was stash. Another stash I bought was, oh, I have one more whip to show you, but it's okay. I hinted toward it earlier. But the Hometown USA. So I bought 2 of these. I really only needed the one for the kitties. And I bought the orange one because I have an orange kitty. So another work in progress is the second mini kitty poof. And these knit up super fast. I did this at night watching an episode of Doctor Who. So, oh, they're so squishy. So here is my orange kitty poof starting. Oh, and this technically, no, that's the bottom. Yeah, that's the bottom. So, the finishing work stinks. I don't like putting the face on. It turned out okay. Still, I'm kind of nitpicky, so I don't love it, but it's cute. And everyone thinks it's cute. Emily thought it was cute. So I will do the same face for this one. So yeah, I'm almost about halfway through. So I gotta do I'm on the big white, oh, more than halfway through. I got this part and this part to do. So I'm right here. So, and then it's just stuffed with stuffing. And actually it tells you to put a line of like quilt batting in there, which I did because I had it. Size 15. So it's chunky and knits fast, but it doesn't knit fast. Like it's small, but each like stitch I feel like I'm like slowly because it's so bulky. It's not like when you're knitting through socks where it's kind of your movement's a lot quicker. This one's kind of like really like slow motion almost. And I did feel like my inner arm was like a little sore yesterday from that one. So maybe I'll take a break on this one and not touch it today. So that's in my cat bag, my black cat bag from Brandy Miller Designs. But yeah, this one, this is the left. I think I have enough white with the leftover. We'll see. I'm on this last white section here. I think I'll have enough to finish. So originally I thought, like, looking at the pattern notes were complicated because it's using Knit Picks yarn and the yardage is so different. I think they have 50 gram skeins of the Mighty Stitch or whatever it is they're using, and these are 142 grams, 5 ounces. So yeah, 2 of these. They were calling for like 2 skeins of like the orange, which was really equivalent to 1 skein. Because yeah, I used 1 full skein of black, and I still have some left. I mean, not enough to do another one, but. So yeah, I've started to freak out because I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have enough orange because I only bought 1 orange and I bought 2 whites because I read the directions wrong. I thought this was the main color and this was, so when I'm looking at it, I'd say this is main color, this is contrast color, but no, this is main color, this is contrast color, so yeah. Anyway, again, reading, okay. Okay, so, another stash. I'm so sorry. I am just all over the place today, which I know is typical, but I just can't get it together. So whatever, here we go. So when I went and got the yarn for the kitties, I had a coupon for 20% off everything, so clearance, whatever. And faux fur was 40% off. So faux fur is expensive, yo. I mean, really, this was like $45 a yard. Like, really? Gorgeous. So I got a quarter yard. So with the 40% off and the 20% off, it ended, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know if it accounted for the 20% off actually. But at least the 40% off. Quarter yard, 40% off, it was $6. I think the black one was like $6 and this was like $6.75. Doable. And I can make a good number. I mean, it's very messy. I need to take it out and shake it because when she cut it, like all the like ends, so I don't want to really disturb it too much, but just kind of want to show you how big it is. So, you know, it's like 60 inches wide. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So this will make a, oh my god, it's just falling. This will make a substantial number of pom-poms, and this is what I was thinking for the top of this hat. But this needs to go outside and be shaken really good. So I should not have touched it at all, because it's just, oh my, it's just, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna carefully put this back in the bag. And now the blacks, of course, attracting all the gray, but yeah, so both of those will make a substantial amount of poms for the price of 1 pom-pom. If you get one at a yarn store, you can easily spend $10 to $12 on one. Yeah. Eek. So that, yeah, that was a good deal. And I'm pretty excited about that color. It's super soft. So I might make one same size. Do you think this is a good size? Is this a good size? Is this too big? I think it's a good size. I like it, so whatever. So I'm going with it. Anyway, so that was the faux fur from Joann's. So lastly is I got, so like I mentioned earlier, Happy Little Yarn is no more. So she offloaded a bunch of her undyed yarn. Now I could have gone, I wanted to go crazy and buy it all, but it would have been like hundreds of dollars. Could not do that yet. So instead I got 4. Yes, 4. I figured 4 was a good number for maybe if I want to make a sweater. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. I still have 10 skeins of undyed yarn in my basement, so I really didn't need 4 more. But here we are. 75-25, which I think I meant to try to get an 80-20, but whatever, I didn't. This is Yarn Undyed is the company. Again, it's a 75 superwash wool nylon, 25% nylon, 400 meters, 100 grams. Just bare yarn. I'm dying to die. I really want to die. Yarn. And then I got 2 skeins of, this is from Dyer Supplier, 100% superwash merino worsted. So on my list of things I really want to make is the sock arms sweater, and I accidentally purchased the worsted version, which I'm happy about still because I would prefer to make it in a worsted weight yarn. However, you cannot find self-striping worsted weight yarn to save your life unless you want to buy a kit from the dyer that was collaborating, and it's like $100 and something, and I just can't justify that amount of money on a sweater. I just can't do it right now. I mean, a lot of people do it, and that's great and that's awesome, and their sweaters are beautiful, but I have to stick with inexpensive wool and acrylic. Okay, that's just, it just has to be what it has to be. So this was inexpensive, and if I can get my act together, I've watched a million videos on self-striping without warping boards, and you know, you just gotta like, it's intense. It's intensive, but I figured maybe I would dye these 2 self-striping to do a sock arm sweater. So again, I have to do more math and figure out how long do I want my stripe to be. I guess probably need to make a swatch to see, you know, how thick do I want the stripe to be, and that, or yeah, how thick do I want my stripe to be on my arm, so then how much yarn is that, so then how many stripes can I fit into a skein, and blah blah blah. So yeah, that needs to be determined. And then I need to figure out what the main sweater will be too. I gotta figure out all the colors, you know, so who knows, this will probably never get done until like 5 years from now. But I have that option. So that is it for my stash. So since I last recorded, I will update you with podcasts that have launched, whatever. New episodes are out from the Reluctant Sisters podcast, Hawthorne Cottage Craft, the Felicity Yarn Studio, Chevy Rell stuff, which I don't think I've ever mentioned her, but she's pretty popular. I'm sure most people know who Chevy Rell is, but she's pretty funny. So she's got a new episode. A Lefty Knitter podcast. She's got 3 episodes out. She's got 2 regular episodes. I think she records weekly. And then she's got a really fun bonus episode with her and her husband talking about their 20, it was like a 20 questions, but like vinyl. So like vinyl records, which are really cool. So that was fun to listen to that one. Mint Rain Knits, the Cat Knit podcast, which I don't think I've mentioned her before. She's been around for a while as well. And I've been a follower, but haven't really watched regularly. So I'm trying to keep up with a good core amount of podcasters that I want to watch more. So she's on my rotation right now. The Yarn Curator podcast, she has a episode about her Make 9, which is really, really interesting, and of course makes me want to cast on more stuff because it's like, oh, that's cute. The Yarnder Woman podcast has a new episode out, and she's got a new schedule that she's starting, so I think it was like every 1st and 3rd Friday of the month she'll post an episode, so that's great. And the Wayward Skein podcast. Lynn has a new episode out, and she is, I don't know if she's weekly or bi-weekly. I'm not sure. but she's got a new episode out. So I've caught up on all my favorite podcasts. And I stumbled across a new, I don't know, I'm in her backlog right now. But it's the dyer from Fiber for the People? Yeah, Fiber for the People, I believe. And she has a bunch of dye series about how she dyes colorways and her thought processes and like going off a photograph for her yarn clubs and stuff. Oh my gosh, I am just absorbing it all and loving it all, and it's making me want to dye the yarn. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep watching those videos for a while. So that is it for the fiber crafty section of this podcast. It is now time for my life in review. Since we last chatted, the weather was crappy, and guess what? It still is. So last weekend, or the weekend before, so I recorded on like a Tuesday or something. So that week, we had scouts and all this stuff going on. It was the week we returned back to school. That's right. So that weekend we had a Lego Expo for David. So he was in Lego Robotics, which is the first Lego League Junior. And yeah, everything went well. The weather was really bad that day, and later that day we were supposed to drive 2 hours away to a museum to do an overnight at the museum with Cub Scouts. So we did the Lego Expo in the morning, and everything went great, and David did well, and the team did well, and they all get medals. So this one's still, the Junior League, they don't really, it's really more for just experience, I guess. But then we got in the car to drive to Kalamazoo to the museum, and the roads were getting kind of icy. It was debatable whether it was a good idea to go. We drove a few miles, we saw a car in the ditch, we saw tow trucks driving by, we saw ambulances driving by. So about 10 minutes into our drive, we all as a family decided we were going to go home because it just wasn't worth it. So it was a bummer. We were all looking forward to going to the museum. I've never stayed the night in a museum. I mean, that sounded really cool. I mean, we were aware that nobody was going to sleep because, you know, we were sleeping on the museum floor and whatever. But it sounded fun. So we didn't go. Instead, though, we had a sleepover in our living room floor. We blew up a couple air mattresses. We all had sleeping bags, and we just had a little sleepover. So it was fun. And I think we watched a movie, and so we made a cozy day of it. But we were all kind of still disappointed that we didn't make it. So then the next week happened. What happened like next week? Oh, that's right. Big news. That's not really news. So I had my job interview on Friday. Obviously I did not get the job, unless I think you would have known by now because I would have posted something or I would be working right now. But long story short, there's a lot of details that were involved in this, but the scheduling was really the main issue. And I knew that was going to be a thing. She needed someone that could stay till 4. For a part-time job for an undisclosed amount of hours, I still didn't really know how many hours it was going to be. I couldn't justify leaving the kids home alone for a little bit. Like, I'm available till 3 o'clock, I think I said, or 3:30. I think I said 3:30. So it's like, just that half an hour, you know? Like, I couldn't justify leaving the kids home alone because that's what would have to happen. They'd get off the bus, they'd have to come home and sit in the house alone, which they would be fine. But for what this was, you know, part-time, I just, you know, because, yeah, maybe I could have made it work. So, but the more I thought about it, the less comfortable I was about the idea of even working that far. I mean, it's not far, but it was in the neighboring town over, so it wasn't like I could get to where I needed to go to the school or whatever in a snap. It was like 20, 25 minutes, depending on the traffic and the weather. So, yeah, I'm a little bummed, but I'm not bummed. You know, it's at the same time, it's like I was a little relieved at the same time as a little disappointed, so it's all good. So now I just need to dye yarn and sell it, right? So, so yeah, I'm still happy for the experience. I'm glad I got to go interview. I'm glad I got to dust off my resume and get all that stuff and get that experience that I haven't had for quite a long time. So it's fine. Let's see. Last weekend was fun, though. Another weather advisory came up and almost ruined plans, but luckily it actually made plans even better, surprisingly. So we had Jim's parents were supposed to come pick up the kids on Saturday morning, and take them to a magic show with their cousins, and they were gonna have a little sleepover on Saturday night. So I'm looking at the weather, and we have this big storm coming in on Saturday morning. So it would have been not ideal for her to come and pick up the kids at 10 in the morning. So I messaged her and said, you know, just let me know what your plans are. And she's like, why don't you bring them on Friday? So instead of one night, we got 2 nights. So that was cool. So I drove the kids over to their grandparents' house on Friday. They had an awesome sleepover with their cousins, and they did a magic show on Saturday. Thankfully, the weather was bad. It wasn't great on Saturday morning, but by the time they went to the show in the afternoon, the roads were fine. They had pizza. They had time in the hot tub. They took a ride on they have a Polaris. It's this like kind of like a glorified golf cart. It's like a mix between a golf cart and a 4-wheeler. So it can do some like trail riding, but it's like shaped like a golf cart. It's cool. It's fun. So they had to ride through the snow in that, and yeah, just played around, played games together and stuff. So they had a good time. They don't get to see their cousins very often, usually not until the summer and then the holidays. So it was nice they had some quality time with their grandparents and their cousins. And then Jim and I, since we had our extended date weekend, so originally I booked us a room at a kind of a fancy hotel in Dearborn, which is about an hour from here, 45 minutes. But then the weather was going to be bad. I'm like, well, what if we don't want to drive all the way to Dearborn and, you know, do all that? So, or at that point, I still wasn't sure if the kids were even going. So I canceled that. So I was a little disappointed by that. But, so Friday, we decided we'd go out to dinner, and we got sushi, and there was like a little live band playing, so that was fun. And then we came home and watched Doctor Who. So we were behind. So the new season came out, I don't know, like at the beginning of the year or right around Christmas or something. And we don't have cable or anything. So we had to purchase the season. So now we're catching up. So, and it's enjoyable. We've been enjoying it way more than last season. So last season was weird. Every time I watched an episode, it was like, that was weird. This season is like more, this is Doctor Who, so we're enjoying it. But so we watched the Christmas special, the first episode of Doctor Who, and then, yeah, just kind of hung out. And then Saturday we got up and we went and saw Star Wars again. So we went and saw The Rise of Skywalker again at our favorite movie theater. Since the first time we saw it at the closer movie theater because that's where we could buy advance tickets. This time we went to our favorite movie theater that has the big fancy reclining chairs, and yeah, so, and it's cheaper. So the roads were a little hectic getting there, but we left plenty early. So saw the Star Wars, and then we went out for a Mediterranean lunch, which we don't do very often because A, we always get too much food, and B, the kids don't really like it. And they have chicken strips there, so they usually get chicken strips, but we like to get the appetizer sampler, which is like tabbouleh, hummus, baba ganoush, the garlic sauce, the bread. I got a bowl of lentil soup and then a chicken shawarma sandwich. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. We had lots of leftovers. So then we packed up our leftovers and we borrowed, stayed. We got a hotel room. Somewhere else though. We stayed somewhere close. So it was like a 10 minutes from our house. We got a hotel room at the Crown Plaza. They had a hot tub, they had a restaurant, you know, so it was kind of nice. So we did that, and we went in the hot tub. It was a little busy, to be honest. Like, the pool area was a lot more busier than I thought, but it was fine, and I got myself soak in the hot tub. That's all I wanted. I'm freezing all the time. It's cold here. I just wanted to soak in a hot tub, and it was worth it. It was nice. So we did that, and then we didn't have dinner because we were full from our Mediterranean, but we took our leftovers with us, but we didn't really get into it, so. But like at 10 o'clock, we decided, let's get a pizza. They had room service, so we got a room service pizza around 10 o'clock. We were watching live PD, which is kind of a weird version of Cops, because that seems to be our thing that we do when we're out at a hotel by ourselves. We watch some kind of really junky reality cop show because we don't have cable at home and we never see this, and I don't know, it's mildly entertaining. So we watched live PD and ate pizza, and it was glorious. The hotel was really actually decent. It was quiet. Nice king-size bed because we don't have a king-size bed at home either, so it was nice. Then we got up and had a breakfast buffet at the restaurant, which was okay. It was just a standard kind of continental breakfast buffet. Nothing real fancy. So we did that, and then we came home and we were going to go pick up the kids, and because originally they said, you can pick up the kids around, you know, right in the first thing in the morning. Well, then we decided to call just to kind of check in, make sure they were up and everything. And they're like, well, why don't you come around 1? Oh, all right. Well, now we have a whole like 2 or 3 hours left. We probably didn't need to leave the hotel, but that's okay. So we watched The Joker, because that was also on our list of things we wanted to watch. So we rented The Joker through iTunes and watched that. So that was really good and really disturbing. So if you, yeah, I don't know. It was good, but it was very disturbing. So, but yeah, we did that, and then we went and got the kids, and then the whole relaxing, romantic atmosphere just shattered. Kids came home, they were grumpy, they were overtired, they were hyped up on junk food and too much screen time all weekend. So, but that's what's expected when they spend time with their their cousins and have sleepovers, and they stayed up too late and had fun. So, you know, it was fine. But yeah, we always get the aftermath. So yeah, that was it. So overall, it was a really good week, couple weeks. Just still disappointed about missing out on the museum trip, but the weather around here has just been cold, dreary, and now it's snowy. It's not snowing, but we still have the snow from the weekend. And yeah, I need some sunshine. I need some warm. However, I do enjoy being able to wear my hand knits, so, you know, I shouldn't complain. But anyways, hopefully I got everything covered. If you have any questions, please feel free to post here, message me on YouTube or Ravelry, Facebook, Instagram. You can email me at craftycatlady@gmail.com. That's 2 T's. And yeah, I appreciate all your support and time. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.